everyone. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Your Lives podcast. I'm Mackayla. We're going to jump right into it with the hardest question of all. Who are you?
Uh, my name is Mikey. How you doing, Mackayla?
Good.
I,
What
I
have you
don't
been up
know.
to recently?
I've been trying to get gigs. That's basically what I've been trying to do, trying to get photography gigs. That's all I've been doing, messaging people, emailing people, trying to get festival stuff this year. That's all I've been doing lately. So it's like, we're trying. I don't
It's a
know.
grind.
It's a grind. I don't think a lot of people realize that us photographers, freelancers are just trying to grind to get the next gig. And it's hard. It's very
Mhm.
much hard.
What is something you wish you knew before you started freelancing photography?
I wish I knew how much in not I don't have debt, but how much it costs to actually pursue this kind of career because I didn't realize like sure it's a passion, it's a hobby, but also in this like little career path I'm trying to pursue, it costs a lot to actually start this because I don't
Hmm.
think a lot of people realize this too, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna pursue this and buy the I guess cheapest camera that you can," but then after you go on and we're like, "Oh, this doesn't work now." Oh, I gotta upgrade to this. I gotta go and pursue
Yep.
with this. And it's just like you're so far down that you're like, I can't get out of this now. So it's like, yeah, we're good.
Hmm. So, what got you interested in photography and then music photography in particular?
Yeah, so photography, I kind of just grew up with that. Like my parents gave me like a little power shot, little camera, point and shoot camera when I was very little and
Hmm.
everything. So I grew up in the country, so I was just taking photos of like animals, I guess landscape stuff around the area, house. We had acreage at the time and everything, so like literally like I seen wolves, owls all the time around and about. So I was taking photos so much of that. So then after went to, I guess, my first actual rock concert, which was Nickelback at the time. And I'm like,
Nice.
oh, this will be cool. And I took my little PowerShot camera that I got gifted, started taking photos of that. And then I just started like going to more local shows around high school time. Went to
Hmm.
Papa Roach, brought like my little like just cell phone at the time. And I just took photos of, I guess, Papa Roach, and then they reposted my cell phone picture on their page. And I'm like, this is insane to think about. Like a band like this level posted just a crappy shit, I guess, photo on their page. I'm like, what? And then after I'm like, this is so cool. And then I just started doing that around like after high school, started going to more local shows. I was using my sister's actual DSLR camera that
Hmm.
she bought online and then pursued that. My first actual show that I actually got like a photo pass per se was like an opening band to NF at the
Hmm.
time, and that was like 2018-ish. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a journey, but it's been cool.
That's kind of cool that it's kind of been your whole life. That's like evolved from what you were doing when you were a child.
Yeah, I didn't realize that too, because it's just like, yeah, I've been doing this for so many years. It's like a little hobby, passion, then it grew into actual like almost a career. I don't think people realize like I'm not full time and it's hard to get full time. Like I know photographers that will love to be full time, and I'm
Hmm.
one of those that would love to be full time. I have just a side job as well too. I'm a radio producer on the side as well too. So it's like it's hard to actually get full time. When you get full time, it's amazing that I hear, but also it's a grind as well. And that's the thing about photography and even music photography in
Hmm.
general, because it's such a niche compared to other photography avenues.
How do you balance it with it not being full time?
I don't know, because it's like I'm still trying to balance it out because I'm trying to gain full time with this
Hmm.
because everyone's like, why haven't you gone full time? Because it's like, yeah, I could, but also I would be financially screwed then if I don't go full time because it's like, this is still a fallback, but also it's not because it's like, yeah, I'm trying to pursue this to become
Right.
full time, but I can't because it's like, no one has actually pursued this to be like, hey, we're going to bring you on tour. We're going to make you our full-time photographer for this production, this
Hmm.
event, this kind of thing. But it hasn't gone to that point where it's like, once I get to that, then I could go full time. But I can't right now because no one wants to pursue that. And also everywhere in the world has been like terrible right now financially and everything
Hmm.
that I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. And I would never recommend putting yourself in a situation you can't afford.
Yeah, I don't tell anyone to be like, yeah, I'm gonna drop everything, become a photographer, be full time to this, like right off the bat. If you have like a job or pursue anything that you love right now, pursue that, do schooling, all that
Hmm.
stuff first. And then if you want to pick up photography and everything, do it as a hobby first. don't pursue it
Yeah.
like kind of similar to what I kind of did, but also I still am doing it as also a hobby in a sense too, because it's like, yes, I'm still making money, but I still have my career that I still want to pursue. Maybe
Mhm.
radio, if that becomes full time, then I'll pursue that more, or this comes full time, then I have this. So yeah, at least if you want to pursue this, at least have something to fall back on, right?
Right. I feel like that's always important. And I think that's like the pandemic, especially, brought
Mhm.
that to light. Things can
Yeah.
change at any moment.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like for me, I don't think people didn't realize that I became a photographer like before the pandemic, and everyone's like, "Oh, who's this photographer after the pandemic?" I'm like, "Guys, I've been doing photography. You just never did notice my stuff until now." It's just like, "What? Okay, cool." But yeah, pandemic was a weird time for us photographers because we couldn't go out. We couldn't
Mhm.
do anything as well too. So we were just stuck indoors trying to do stuff, hoping to get out there. And then when there was some time, we did do the odd shoot here and there. So
Yeah.
it was a weird time for us.
Yeah. So always good to have a backup plan,
Yep. Yep.
just in case.
Just in case. And if you don't, then props to you if you
Yeah.
make
Good
it.
luck.
That's all I can say. Good luck. That's yeah, exactly.
So, how do you balance your passion for photography with the professionalism of the industry, like the business part of it?
No, because I probably am maybe doing a good job, but also not. Because it's just like, yeah, it's a passion, but also it is also a business. Because like I'm trying to pursue, yes, clientele, trying to get this, but also probably not a great passion if I'm not full time, right? Because
Hmm.
it's just like I should be full time if I'm getting so much gigs, so much of this stuff. But it's just like, it's weird because a lot of people just I feel like don't want to pay for photographers. And
Hmm.
that's the ongoing standard I've been noticing with a lot of bands, a lot of artists, a lot of, I don't know, in general, this industry just doesn't want to pay for us creatives. And it's just like, it hurts. It really
Hmm.
hurts. And I just dealt with even a local artist like, hey, how much would you pay for my photos of this opening act that I did? And I gave him honestly like a cheap number that I haven't done in years. And he's just like, no, I'm good. Thanks. I'm like, you put in so much of the work, you put so much of your
Yeah.
drive, and you want to pursue so much of it, and you don't want to support even local, and you're trying to support even local bands, and they don't want to support you. It's just like, what is going on here? So it's just like support local, support your local
Yeah.
community. I honestly don't get why people don't want to pay for the creatives if they're putting in so much work into their
Hmm.
passion and into their love, and you know that they are really good.
Yeah.
Why aren't you paying for their services, right?
Yeah. I think sometimes people don't understand the work that goes into photography.
Yeah, it's a lot of hours. And I like, for me, I went to tour last year. Sorry for the voice crack. I love that. But honestly, like last year, it was a real burnout for me too, because I was like going last year. Like it was
Hmm.
probably my favorite year for photography in general, because I was getting so much gigs, so much stuff. But in general, it was weird too to think about because I went on my first tour and I didn't realize how much you put into it that whole entire tour of every single day. Because it's like you're with a band, you're probably your first touring gig is probably a band tour.
Hmm.
And I would say it's just like, okay, cool. You're in so many hours of the day with this band. You're taking photos, taking behind the scenes moments, trying to get that content out
Yeah.
daily for them, trying to do these lawns hours. I don't know. It's a lot of work, and I don't think a lot of people realize how much it goes into it, right?
Hmm. What was your favorite part about going on tour?
I'm a person that loves to travel, so honestly, I would say just the places. Like for me, I'm from Canada, so I never got to experience a lot of this stuff in America. So like
Hmm.
I got my first time seeing what Buc-ee's was because everyone I was like, "What is Buc-ee's?" And everyone's like, "Oh, this is what Buc-ee's is. This is like a convenience store but gas station thing." I'm like, "Holy, this is so huge." And my favorite thing also on tour, which they showed me, honestly, wish that we had this in Canada, is sheets. And this is a thing that is more like the East Coast-ish. It's like a gas station, but it has fast food in it.
Hmm.
This is amazing. Why don't we have this here? We have it, but it's 7-Eleven, but it's
Hmm.
not that great. It's not good compared to what Sheets and I guess I forget what the competition was. It's not Wawa, it's something else. But yeah, I forget the gas station. But yeah, it's there's a competition between the two gas stations that I'm like, guys, I wish we had this in Canada. That's what got shown on me for tour was that. And also in general, I fans are crazy. That's all I can say. Fans are nuts. But
Hmm.
it's cool. American. Also, I didn't realize that you guys do this in the States too for like music and concerts. Like this was new to me. You guys stand outside of music venues like 3 or 4 hours before the opening doors.
I do
Why?
that.
Why? Why do you do that?
We make a day out of it. It's fun.
It's fun, but it's just like, guys, it's like 3 or 4 hours of the show. Like, you probably need to have dinner. You need to do stuff beforehand. Like, guys, the show's not happening. You have your seats bought. I know you're passionate.
Standing room only, though.
That's fair, but if it's not a standing room only, which was the tour that I was on, it's not a standing room only. You had seats. And I'm like, what are people doing?
That's fair. I only stand outside when it's standing room only.
That's fair. But also, I only do that for like an hour beforehand, but not like 3 hours beforehand.
Yeah, I've gotten there. Actually, Wednesday, doors were 9:30. We got there at 1. But Mackayla, me and my friend, we interviewed the artists. We'd like play games. We'd explored the city. So
we need to have a conversation of what you're doing. Like, what is it? 6 hours, 7 hours before the show doors open? Why?
Why not?
Fair. You need some cool people for like you're bonded for life for that line with the people. But I'm like, dang.
Is there any artist you would do that for?
7 hours? Waiting outside for an artist? I don't think so. I'm sorry. But like an hour beforehand, like, who did I do that for? I think I did that like a few years ago, like for 21 Pilots. Yes, I did that for a GA for 21 Pilots because I'm like, I need to go in for that. That was like a while back. But like, yes, if it's a GA, like if you bought like arena for sure GA, you have to wait outside and be like, okay, let's rush into this. Then I would do that for like the said artist that I would actually buy for. So like Nickelback, I would for sure if I had, but their tickets are expensive for GAs. So I'm like, I can't do that anymore. It's always seated for me for that. But other than that, it's like, let's say Breaking Benjamin, I've done that for. I did that for Bad Omens, I think a few years ago when they were just opening. And that, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand. Like, it's something people don't always think about for concerts.
Yeah. You got a life. You got stuff going on, but like 7 hours?
Well, it's like become part of my life, you know?
Don't you have okay, I get it if it's like the weekend, it makes sense, but like, don't you have a job, Mackayla, as well too?
I took the day off.
All right, we need to have a conversation of what your business and your financial issues is going on here.
Well, I live at home, so.
Okay, so that helps.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can afford to do this.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, so my friend lives in Connecticut because it was in New York. So I drove the 3 hours that morning to her place in Connecticut, and then it's a 1 hour drive from her place. And then we didn't get back to her place until like 3 p.m. at night, and I had to leave at 5:30 for work. And then I went to bed right after work.
Brutal.
Yep.
Brutal. I'll say that, brutal.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Totally worth it, but brutal.
No, that's fair. I honestly, I'm more shocked that you don't pursue photography if you're so much loving like outside of like going to concerts and so much of that. Like, why don't you go into
it's actually so I went to school for photography.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was actually something I thought about pursuing, like music photography, but it's too much of a passion for me.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to take that away from it, you know?
That's fair. I just like it just because I like to get to see. Also, for me now, doing this for so many years, it's like I get to see the reactions of these bands and these artists of like, hey, what do they think of my photos and that? And it's kind of cool to hear back of like bands. I didn't realize that they're like, wow, these are cool photos. I didn't expect someone to take photos like that. Like for me, like a few years ago, I think it was Nickelback I got in for, and this was like a full circle moment that I got in for Nickelback, and their manager was like, I didn't like, we have a tour photographer, but like we didn't expect these photos to turn out like this way. These are cool. And it's cool to hear that from bands and artists that you're like, you love, you support and everything. It's just like, what? You're doing this for so many years, doing this for maybe even just a little bit amount of time as well too for certain photographers. So it's just like, wow, this is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's something I've thought about, but
I honestly say like pick up like a little point and shoot and just go to some local shows, even Mackayla, and just start like having fun with it. You don't have to be like, oh, let me go into like arena and start taking photos like off the bat. Like you don't have to, just pursue it. I don't know. Have a little hobby here and there if you can, but try to financially not die out of it, you know, like what you're doing right now, taking days off for the concerts for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
But I mean, I only take like
I don't get it.
Naughty. I take like next month I'm working every day
Okay,
except Easter. That was the day I got off. Literally
that's good.
working because I have a full-time job and then a part-time job. So I'm
Okay,
literally working every day except Easter next month.
that's not bad. That's not
And
bad.
then I'll probably do the same thing in May, aside from my sister's graduation. So like that'd be one day off, and then I'm taking a week off in June for some concerts.
See, you're good. You got your lined up. You're working. You're good, and then you
Right.
got some days off. I don't like when people are like, "Yo, we're just gonna screw over our job and do that." You know, like that's no. You're good. You're good. Never
Yeah,
mind.
like no, I would
You're
never do
you're not
that
the
to my
yeah
job. Like that's
yeah
rude.
yeah. That would not be good. Then that would be a very much HR issue. But that's besides the point. I'm not HR, so we're good.
So you like mentioned different kinds of venues. Do you have a
Hmm.
favorite venue type to shoot?
Oh, where was one? Honestly, I'll say my favorite one that I did on tour last year. I don't, you probably wouldn't know this if this venue, but I think it was called Ramskull. And it was like a big, I guess it was like a 700, 800 cap venue, but it also
Hmm.
had like bunch of different stairs and everything. Like it
Ooh.
had a bunch of stuff that you could go like over the top of the venue. It was kind of cool. And we don't have that in my city in Canada. I think Toronto has that a little bit, but even then, like, we don't have stuff like that. Like, we have a few smaller venues, and we're starting to pick up here in Winnipeg actually for venues and everything. We just got, what is it, a brand new venue that's a 4,000 cap
That's
room,
exciting.
and it's cool. It's just outside the city, but like, it's something for bands to check out, and it's kind
Hmm.
of cool to be like, hey, we could probably get more bands in that range now, finally, as we haven't had that in like decades at least. So it's
Hmm.
like pretty cool. But as for like my favorite venue here in the city, I would say I've been shooting a lot lately at the Bergen Cummins Theater. It's like a 1,200 cap room, and it's just like it's a little theater. It has seats, but they could take out the seats if they wanted. A little
Hmm.
bit of floor, but like it's an old theater. It's like 80s, 90s old style theater. It's haunted. It's cool, and the bands love it. It's just the staff like me. Everyone's great. Bands like it. The only thing I would say, and if yes, the venue people does watch this, I'll say this. Fix your merch cut. That's all I'll say. Just fix the merch cut a little bit more for the bands to support them because they hate that for the venue. That's all I hear from the bands. But
Hmm.
other than that, great staff, great people, just fix the merch cut. That's all I could say. Mm.
What do you wish fans understood more about concert photography?
Oh, I that's a question. I would say I wish fans would understand how much that we put into it. I would say like I don't think a lot of people realize like we're as well as you guys as are fans of these bands, these artists, and they're like, oh, we're just some random press people and that, but also we're not too. Like some of us are like actual like day-to-day people as well too.
Hmm.
We're just here to enjoy the concert, enjoy the stuff, get some photos, and then maybe rock out to you guys as well too. I'll be in the pit with you guys dancing probably after too. It's just like, guys, we're chill, we're
Hmm.
vibing. I don't get why there's certain people that are like, hey, you got a camera? Let's fight or something like that. I've had that a
Hmm.
couple of times and it's like, why? We're chill, we're vibing, we like the same music. I don't get it. I
Hmm.
don't understand. But other than that, no, I think a lot of people, I think the last few years here locally understand us photographers that were like, hey, we're just trying to get our shots in and just enjoy the show as well too. Like they know what we're doing. I don't know.
Hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then this next question is going to be pretty hard. Do you have a
Oh,
favorite photo you have ever taken?
I'd say right. So for me, I think this is the same thing as like my favorite song. Essentially, I have a favorite song, favorite photo at the moment. I don't have like, oh my gosh, I have a favorite photo of all my photos and everything. Like I've taken so much, thousands and thousands and thousands of photos, but I feel like my favorite photo right now, and it's actually my lock screen. I don't know if you could tell
Oh,
from
cool.
this, but I usually at the time, if it's my favorite photo, it's my lock screen.
Hmm.
Oh, it's like a little black and white photo of like the guy from Comeback Kid, and it was just basically in the actual Bergen Comes Theater, and it was like a little like balcony area, and he's just
Hmm.
in the crowd of the barricade and just went crazy in there. But
Wow,
it's
that's
cool.
cool.
And it's black and white, and I'm not a person that's like big into like black and white, but it just felt great for that, I guess, setting and everything. But yeah, and I'm not a big hardcore fan. Don't get me wrong, but they're probably the only band that I go to hardcore shows. I'll say that. But it's crazy shows, like crazy shows. I try to make sure I don't die from those shows because last year I went to their show actually in like a 500 cap room and I got pelted by crowd surfers 5 times and I had to go to literally a chiropractor to get cracked back into my neck. It was terrible, but it was great. But yeah.
Yeah. Crowd surfing scares me.
Just, I don't know if you're into crowd surfing, but like if you do it safely, but also don't die.
Right. I feel like there's just too much that can go wrong.
It can. And I don't think a lot of people realize this. Like, I've heard horror stories from people. Like, I think that show, someone jumped off the barricade, went onto the stage and jumped into it and hit the barricade head first and started like, they had a big bash and was bleeding. Like, I've heard so many bad stories with crowd surfers, barricades, and everything. Just be safe, guys. And be aware if you go to so many shows, get to know the security members and get to know the security and be nice to them. Because if you're, I guess, in your local show, I guess Vancouver, Boston, wherever, if you're going to so many shows, so many venues, talk to the security, every single venue, talk to those people and be like, hey, I'm here. I'm probably going to crowd surf. Just be aware of me, you know? Because they're going to know your face if you're going to so many shows. And that's what happens with us as the photographers, because we know all the security people. And they're like, oh, this is this guy. This is this photographer. Okay, you're chill. You're good. Like, I've seen that also with just in general fans as well, too. Just talk to the security, be chill about it. And if they're in a good mood, they're in a good mood. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot that can be gained from just being nice to the venue, the people that work there.
It does help quite a bit if you very much know where you're at, where they know you're not going to be a dick about it, about crowd surfing, about if you're not going to be a drunk and attack people, which you shouldn't be at a show in general for doing that.
Or just in general in life, you shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because be a normal human being and be nice to one another. Be humble. I don't know. Like, in general, be a great person and don't attack people, especially at a show or a venue, because the bands will see this sometimes. I think we had that once on our tour. I think they did stop the show once, but I don't think a lot of people realize this too. And this was funny too. I think my family was asking me this actually about the photography thing when I was on tour. Like, can you see people like on the, I guess, floor on the GA and everything on stage? And I don't think a lot of people realize they kind of do. It depends on the venue and the atmosphere and the lighting and situation. The bands can tell of the crowd and see what's going on if it's lighting well. And if it's like dark out, then they can't see. But like, I was on like, what is it? Theaters, clubs, and a few stadium shows. And like, I got to see the crowd quite well. And they see if you're fighting someone or attacking someone. Yes, they do see. And if they want to be aware of it, sure. If they don't, they don't. But like, just don't fight one another at a show and be aware of the security. I guess be chill. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you ever crowd surfed?
In my early days, before like going crazy with photography, I think I just did circle pits, but I never did crowd surf ever because I'm like, I don't want to die.
Yeah. I'm also like, then everyone's just like touching you and that's just like weird.
It is strange. It is. I don't get how people do it. I don't know. It's like, I feel like it could go in a very wrong direction very quickly if you do crowd surf.
I've had the issue because when we go and wait outside for a few hours, we're then, center barricade. And I've had the issue where I'm paying attention and I get kicked in the head because someone's crowd surfing and I don't know they're coming from behind. Or then they get mad at me because I didn't catch them. I'm like, I can't see you. You're behind me.
Yeah. That's also on the indication of the security too, because they should be aware of like, hey, that person's coming toward you. And that's what they've done to myself. Even when I'm in GA in the front of pit, they're like, hey, dude, watch out. There's someone coming toward you. And that's also an indication security should be aware of that too. Yeah. But in your instance, you're just having a good time. You're having fun. That's totally fine. But also sucks as well too. You're going to have a headache the next day.
Yeah. But it's like, also, I'm like, if I can't see you coming, how am I supposed to know to keep you up?
True.
That's the thing about crowd surfing. I'm like, people aren't always seeing that you're coming. So then you could just fall.
Just drop them, Then they'll be like, hey, we're going to stop crowd surfing now if they continue just getting dropped. Just maybe make a trend of just, hey, we'll pick them up and then drop them and be like, what? It'll be
then
funny.
Nobody will crowd surf.
Yeah, it'll just stop the trend of crowd surfing,
That's a good way to stop it.
It's a cool way to stop it. Have you seen those venues and posters of like people saying, "Oh, don't crowd surf and everything.
Hmm.
You'll get kicked out."
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then people do it anyway.
Yep. Yep.
And then get mad when they get kicked out. I'm like, did you not see the sign?
You can't fix stupid. I don't know.
Do you have any favorite? We talked about favorite places, but do you have like favorite memories from going on tour?
I don't know. It was like a mixed thing with tour. Like there was a good things and bad things about it, but
Hmm.
honestly, I feel like my favorite thing of tour, and this was actually like one of the members was the drummer actually, and he was just a funny dude in general, and he was always cracking up jokes, an odd joke here and there. It was just more or less like what we had at the time. Like we had like maybe someone was waking up late and then they just chatted up stuff about that. And it was just like those
Hmm.
little things, I guess, for tour and that. But yeah, he was just one person I just generally miss about tour. I'm like, he'd be a great friend, you know? And
Yeah.
he's not from here, so it's just like I can't see him. I can't all I could do is chat with him the odd time here and there on text.
Hmm.
But like even then the dude's busy. Everyone's busy. Everyone has their stuff on tour that they're trying to pursue and everything. But yeah, it's
Hmm.
just like there's some good things, there's some bad things, but also I generally love that when I got a chance to tour.
Yeah. Would you like to go on tour again?
Yeah, like it would be something that would be cool and to get the experience as well too. But I think every music photographer's dream is to tour, and that's
Hmm.
one thing I love to tour is I've said this I think after the tour, I'm like for some odd weird reason I got to tour America before I got to tour Canada, which was strange to think about. It's like I'm a Canadian and I can't tour Canada. It's like what? And no band
Yeah.
actually does it. Like, makes no sense. But yeah, I would love to tour across Canada one day. That would be kind of cool just to see all the bands are like, "Oh, this area sucks for touring," but I'm like, "No, guys, it's Canada. It's pretty. It's beautiful. Tell you
Hmm.
guys where the best spots are and everything." But it is what it is. But other than that, I love opportunity to get a bus tour one day. But hey, if we have to do the van tours, we have to do the van tours. That's the life that we have to pursue because we're a music photographer trying to make it, trying to
Hmm.
get seen, and it's hard. It's a hard industry to get seen and get heard.
Yeah. What advice do you have for somebody who's just starting out?
Ooh, I would say if you're trying to pick up your first camera, honestly, get this camera that I'm using right now for this webcam thing. It's a Sony ZV-E10, and it's like a little $600, $800 camera that you could find off of like Facebook Marketplace and that. And it's still, what is it, a mirrorless camera, and you can still change the lenses and everything. It's a good starter camera for people to check out. And if you want to pursue it fully, then for sure upgrade the gear. But if you just want to first start out your camera career, your photography career, get this camera and just play around with stuff. That's how I started, just playing around with settings, go to local shows, try to see what settings work, try to see what stuff works, and talk to bands, talk to artists, be like, hey, can I shoot for you for free to get a photo pass? And that locally first to be like, hey, what works, what doesn't, and that's all I can say.
Hmm. Before I ask the last question, was there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about?
Ooh, I don't know actually. Unless you have any other like questions that you didn't have, I honestly I'm open book. So honestly,
Okay.
you could ask me anything. So I got nothing that I want to talk about. Like photography, I could go on for like a while.
Hmm.
Honestly, music, anything. Honestly, I could go
Okay.
on
Well, I
for.
can ask you the last question because it is a really hard question.
Okay,
So, what is the soundtrack of your life?
what are you doing to me, Michaela? What are you doing? Oh gosh. So I guess it would be like my favorite artists, favorite like
It's
songs. Like
whatever
what
you
would
want because it's your life.
that doesn't help me here. Well, okay, what is other like this will help me like what has other people kind of like done that in the
Yeah.
past? Like what have
So
they said?
we've had songs, albums, a soundtrack to a movie,
Okay.
different like things in life. Somebody was like the beach, like just the sound of the ocean, or someone was like their
Okay.
family, just those moments.
Okay. Okay, cool. Ooh,
I don't
I
know
would
if that
go
makes
with
it easier or harder.
it doesn't, but also it does in a sense because it helps me like, hey, what can I add to this? Like for my soundtrack, it would be honestly, I do love albums. Still, like I don't think a lot of people realize like I still listen to albums front to back and everything, but if I were to do in this case, it would be like a playlist because it's
Mhm.
like it's a new age. We're in the 2020s, 2010s. We've done the 2010s, my bad. But the 2020s era, and it's playlist now. So I would say for my soundtrack of my life, it would be like different songs. Like I've listened to basically everything. Like I listen to country, pop, rock, hip hop. Like I would put Eminem into it. I would put Sabrina Carpenter. I would put Breaking Benjamin, Nickelback. I would put of course like NF because he was like my first show, but I didn't get it. But he just banned me. But that's besides the point. We got a grudge with him. But other than that, like I'll put Bad Omens because I was probably one of their few artists before they had Brian on, which was kind of cool. I've done so much stuff. I would say I have like a little playlist that I have on my Instagram that I have on like my little website link that it's like every artist I've shot throughout the years of like working promos, photos in general. That's basically and essentially my soundtrack to my life of like photography, I would say for that. But as for like life as a whole, I would just pick a Nickelback album or a Green Day. Honestly, I just pick those bands because I don't have a favorite song because my favorite song always changes. But honestly, I'll always say like if someone had to say, "Oh, your favorite song of all time," then I would just say Green Day, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. But other than that, it's whatever is in the mood right now.
Yeah, no, I feel like my favorite song changes all the time.
It's hard. It's hard. I don't think people realize like you're in different settings. You have a different, I guess, earworm at the time because what am I in the mood right now? I'm in like a weird like metalcore thing. Like I got what is it? A Day to Remember's album like I think a month ago, and that I've been listening to that like nonstop. So like this coming out on streaming platforms, I'm like, yay, I can finally listen to this on my actual like computer now, which is kind of cool. So it's like it's whatever is at the moment, whatever is getting played, right? So I don't know. It's cool.
Awesome. So for all of our listeners who want to stay up to date on you, see your work, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Mikey.photograph, or on X or Twitter, it's Jablonski Mikey, I believe. And I don't know. We're a photographer. We're trying to get heard. If you're a band, you're an artist. You see this, want to have a Canadian out for tour, hit me up. I don't know about this year because of the whole entire situation with Trump and everything. Yeah. But other than that, if you're going to Canada, hit me up. I'm always down to travel across Canada for stuff. But hey, if you ever like to check out some weird stuff with photography, I always keep photography natural. I don't think a lot of people realize with my photos, every single thing I try to do in camera, like all my weird circles stuff, all my edits and everything are all in camera, never Photoshop. Because I'm one of those, I'm like, you could do that work through a camera. You could bend lights. You could do some cool stuff with a camera. You don't need a computer to do that. So keep it natural, So that's all I could say. Check me out if you want to. If you don't, have a great rest of your day. That's all I could say. Have a great day, great year. Hope you pursue something that you love and enjoy life. That's all I could say.
That's good advice. Enjoy life and pursue something you love.
Yeah, I don't know. That's came up the spot. There you go.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mackayla. Thank you so much.
Well, have a nice rest of your day.
You too.
Dear listeners, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky, and TikTok at STO Lives Podcast. Thanks for listening.